Golden Opportunities is paid for by Elder Productions.
Hello, I'm Lori Steiner. No joking. Welcome to Golden Opportunities.
It's Sunday. Do you know what time it is? Thanks to Mother Nature, we'll calibrate the exact time. We'll learn about certificate of deposits. Short-term or long-term, we'll find the best time investment for you. Getting a beautiful smile can be easy. No fooling. Plus, spring is here and we welcome a new season of a local treasure. And we'll help you avoid the IRS's dirty dozen tax scams.
It's time to get geoing, so pull up a chair and join us at our kitchen table for Golden Opportunities. Can you guess what the world's oldest scientific instrument is? It's the sundial. But surprisingly, most of the sundials you see in the stores are just for decoration. They are not true solar clocks. And to explain why that is, local sundial craftsman Chet Roberts is here to dial us into his sunny, personalized, handmade pieces of art. He's with NCR Sundials.
Thank you, Lori. What a wonderful introduction.
Well, welcome to our show. How did you become a sundial artist?
It's interesting. My wife loves gardening, and I decided at one point I would really love for her to have a sundial in her garden. And when we went shopping for them, we discovered we'd find a design we liked, but didn't like the inscription, or an inscription we liked and we didn't like the design. So I thought, I'll make her one just for her.
Okay, so what's your process of creating sundials?
Well, in the process of making the first sundial for Audrey, I discovered something amazing. That the sundials you see in the stores are for decoration only. They can't tell the time, and the reason they can't tell the time is the Earth is in a very special relationship with the sun through its rotation cycles. And so for a sundial to tell the time, it has to be calibrated for your exact latitude and longitude. On top of that, the gnomon, which is the piece on top of the sundial, also has to be calibrated for the correct latitude.
I had no idea about that.
And 99.9% of the people who want a sundial don't know that either.
So when you're creating one, then you're designing the entire surface of it, right?
That's the beauty of it, because when you commission a calibrated sundial, you also have the ability to choose your own inscription, your own background design, and so it becomes very highly personalized.
Okay, we have one up on the air here right now, so that was for some event, it looks like. Happy anniversary, Mom and Dad.
Exactly. Well, the sundials, I initially thought that people who were gardeners would want the sundial, but it turns out that people want to give them to a special person or on a special occasion. A 50th wedding anniversary, I had one for a young bride. She wanted words from her wedding vows. It went, "May my heart be your shelter." Isn't that beautiful?
It is.
And there was another family that was concerned about a son in another state. They had a sundial made that said, "We will love you forever, love Mom and Dad." Mm-hmm. And he called them in tears. He was so touched. And because, unlike a Hallmark card that may be very beautiful and eventually ends up in a drawer, the sundial stays out there and that message can be seen daily.
And it's a lasting memory out in your backyard. You can always go out, visit, get some sunshine, enjoy it.
It's also a symbol of a much slower pace. No one uses a sundial for a stopwatch, so to slow down and enjoy the garden, a sundial is perfect.
Okay, so you designed them all. And I understand you put the logo NCR Sundials on each one, right?
That's correct. There's an interesting reason for that.
I thought it was some celestial, god or something.
Close. It actually stands for Audrey N. Chet Roberts.
Okay, so it is very special.
There is the coding on it, yes indeed.
Because the first one was for your wife, that makes some sense.
Exactly. Audrey chose for her sundial, by the way, an oak tree background, and the inscription was, "Time began in a garden." I thought that was beautiful.
It is, just like the sundials.
Exactly, thank you, Lori.
If you're looking for a timeless gift, give Chet a call. Just use the information that's coming up next. My thanks to Chet for joining us today.
My pleasure, Lori.
Find out more by calling NCR Sundials at 440-933-0893 or click to www.ancrsundials.com. Next, are CDs music to the ears of your financial portfolio? But first, it's Easter Sunday, and I bet your basket is crowded with candy, including some of the 90 million or so chocolate bunnies made each year. Do you know how these cute little rabbits became synonymous with this holy holiday? We'll hop right back with the answer when we return.
What does the new Trump tax law, the most sweeping tax overhaul in over 30 years, mean if you have $500,000 or more in liquid assets? It means complex challenges and exceptional opportunities. Hi, I'm Jim Lineweaver, president of Lineweaver Wealth Advisors. To help you understand what these challenges and opportunities are and how you may be able to benefit from them, we've organized a professional panel of financial, legal, and tax experts with over 40 years of experience. Please join us for dinner at the beautiful Prestwick Country Club. The panel discussion and dinner are complimentary, but seating is very limited, so call today. Dates and times are on your screen.
How did the rabbit become connected to Easter? It turns out that some historians believe Easter was named after the Anglo-Saxon goddess Istra, whose symbols were the egg and the hare. Happy Easter, and try not to eat too many chocolate bunnies.
Lately, it's been hard to find a place to put your hard-earned savings and retirement accounts that offers principal protection and a decent rate of return. Craig Hannes is here to tell us about a little-known fixed-index bank CD that can do both. Craig is with Gateway Advisors, so welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me back.
What is this fixed-index bank CD?
Well, it's a bank-issued certificate of deposit, and these are typically offered by national or global banks. And there's typically three major components. First of all, the principal, which is basically your deposit that you put into the CD. The second component would be a guaranteed interest rate that is actually fixed for the term of the CD. And third component would be a index calculation, and that's where you actually have the potential to earn a lot more interest than the guaranteed rate.
Ooh, all right, sounds interesting. Are your savings or retirement accounts at any risk with this index?
No, your money is not put into the index or the stock market. It's just the index is strictly used to calculate the amount of interest that you get. Typical example of what an index is, S&P 500 is an index, a Dow Jones Industrial Average.
So are these just like traditional bank CDs that offer like the FDIC insurance?
Yes, these qualify for the FDIC, to be FDIC insured, just like a local bank CD, up to the statutory limits.
Okay, so safe. Have they been around a while, or is this something brand new?
Well, they've been around since 1987, but what's new is they put a new interest calculating engine inside of them, sort of like supercharging an old product.
Okay.
And without getting too technical, what they did was they put a dynamic index in there that works to increase your upside potential of the interest that you can earn.
So it looks like we have an example here on the screen.
Yes. This is actually from a product, the actual and back-tested results, and this is for educational purposes only. You'll see back in 2017 gain of on the index of 10.7%, and that's pretty good for FDIC insured
That really
product.
is very good.
And then 2016, 5.3. Looking all the way back to 2008, we have actually a negative 1.4% on that index, but if you remember, that wasn't that's
that was
pretty
the
good.
time things fell apart.
Yeah, the Dow
in the market.
Yeah, the Dow was down 34%. So if you were to actually look at the last 10 years, you have an average of about 5.6%. If all years were negative, you would still get your principal back plus that guaranteed interest rate if held to maturity.
Oh, okay. So that sounds like a good kind of a safety valve or something. So what else do we need to know?
Well, just a few pros and cons, and we'll wrap it up here. The pros would be that these bank CDs carry the FDIC insurance, so your principal's protected. You have the potential to earn more interest, with the indexing that we just talked about, and then minimum guaranteed interest rate, which is fixed for the term of the CD. On the flip side, the cons, you have a penalty for early withdrawal. Terms are typically a little longer than traditional CDs. They range from 5 to 10 years. Also, the minimum amount to open an account, a little higher than a lot of the traditional ones, at a minimum of $25,000, and then an administrative fee of $90 per year.
Okay, well, if you can do better than that on the interest rate, hey, that's okay.
Yeah.
So, if you're looking to jazz up your savings, then a fixed index bank CD might be playing your song. To note more information, give Craig a call. His number's next.
For more information, call Gateway Advisors at 440-709-6563 or click to www.gateway-advisors.net. Next, a new season of smiles. Looking for places to go, things to do? Welcome to our community calendar. Ready to get your flip-flops on and dance to some sizzling summertime music? Then head over to E.J. Thomas Hall and celebrate the University of Akron Steel Drum Band. The performance is April 7th. To learn more, call 330-253-2488 or visit www.uaevents.com.
Can you believe the difference in this man's smile? It's no April Fool's joke, and Chuck Duvall is not kidding when he says he didn't know the look of his teeth could change so dramatically. He's here to tell us how this transformation took place, along with the man who made it possible, dentist Steve Marsh. So welcome, Chuck and Steve, to the show.
Thank you very much.
So Chuck, what made you decide to go see Steve to work on your teeth?
Basically, it was to keep my marriage together. My wife is a fan of the show, saw Dr. Marsh a number of times, and she made me sit down and say, see, you can do that. I had my own uppers with a partial, and then I had a full lower. And I didn't think there was any changes that could be made otherwise.
But you weren't happy then otherwise with the way it was before?
They were functioning okay. And I didn't want to have my upper teeth pulled.
Okay.
So I just said, I don't think there's a big deal. Well, I had really wanted another Harley. And my wife says, you'll have new teeth, you won't have Harley. And so I went up and saw Dr. Marsh, and he talked to me and went over the whole procedure and said, okay, I'll want to keep my marriage, so I'm going to take a dive, and we're going to do that. And
so, Steve, what did you think needed to be done?
So the story, Chuck, first of all, Chuck's an ex-Marine. I'm an ex-Air Force guy. We got along very well, and it was nice just getting to know him. But we looked at the options, and previous dentist had told him he'd have to have the rest of his uppers taken out. He had already had his lowers taken out and a couple implants to hold the lower denture, which also didn't fit very well. So I said, no, I think we can save your uppers. He was all for that. His wife was all for that. And so you can see this before picture. The one on the viewer's left, you can see that's his upper teeth that were left. He wore a partial, so some of those weren't even his own teeth. And that big plastic thing on the bottom was his denture, and he was really closed down. You can't even see the teeth. There are teeth underneath. I thought we could open the bite, we call that in dentistry, and give him more of a smile, give him more lip support, and give him a smile that he could be proud of. So here's what we did, Lori. We started on the upper teeth. Now, this is a special type of porcelain we use in dentistry now. It's called zirconium. It's very strong, 4 times stronger than any of the previous ones. And because of it, we were able to do fixed bridge work. In other words, he doesn't have a partial that goes in and out. That's all zirconium bridge work on the upper. Then you can see his lower denture, which we adjusted. We wanted to give him an optimal smile. Here's his lower denture, his old one. On the left, again, those are the teeth that are worn down. Shows the viewers rather, the lower denture. Those 2 blue attachments actually attach it to the 2 implants that he had done previously. And we were able to modify this denture and make it so that it would attach. And there's Chuck. Upper, his own teeth, doesn't have to take them out, loves them, can't ride a Harley, but he still has that, and a beautiful lower that actually snaps into place. So it's all sort of his own, if you will.
It is a big transformation, so how do you feel about the results?
I feel wonderful. I have to say that when I looked at the old ones, my old lowers and the new ones, it's like looking at George Washington's old wooden teeth and new teeth. But no, I like them a lot, and my wife's told me that I have to get a football thing to bite down on when I ride my bike this year, because if I lose these teeth, I'm dead.
We don't want that to happen.
No, absolutely.
Get that football thing, yeah.
No, but it's so gratifying to hear him tell the story. So, and again, sometimes it takes the spouse or a significant other to bring the patient in, but I'm glad that he's just thrilled with it.
I encourage anybody to really give it a good try and talk to Steve. He will do a wonderful job with you, and he'll ease you into the process.
Thank you.
It does make a big difference. It really does.
Yeah, it certainly does. If your teeth are playing a bad joke on you, have the last laugh by getting the smile you deserve. Do what Chuck's wife made him do. Go see Steve for help. My thanks to Chuck and Steve for joining us today.
See what Dr. Stephen Marsh can do for your smile by calling 440-461-1003 or visit www.clevelandsmiles.com. Up next, a different kind of home opener. It's time to get up and go, an exercise segment on golden opportunities.
Hello everybody, I'm Mike Carbon from Breakout Fitness, and we're here today to show you how to work every major muscle in the lower body with one simple exercise. You ready to go?
I am ready.
Let's do it. Okay. We have a chair next to us here in the studio. You should have some firm surface next to you just in case you get trouble when you're at home. All we're going to do is stand with good posture. We're going to keep our feet shoulder width apart. We're simply going to take one big step out in front of us, dip down so both legs are at about a 90-degree angle, and push yourself back up. Alternate. Let's go ahead and switch legs, down and up. In this particular movement, we want to do at least 20 repetitions so we can at least get 10 for each side. How you feeling?
Dynamite.
Dynamite, all right. Notice Lori has great posture here. She's doing good. Make sure you breathe. Exhale with exertion, inhale as your body's resting. And now it's your turn to get up and go.
For your copy of the exercise booklet, send $1 for postage to Golden Opportunities, 6105 Parkland Boulevard, Suite 140, Mayfield Heights, Ohio, 44124.
Northeast Ohio is very lucky to have Stan Hewitt in its own backyard. The 102-year-old estate was the home of F.A. Seiberling, who co-founded the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company. This season, the spectacular Historic House Museum is celebrating health and wellness, a life well lived. Joining me today for a healthy conversation is Gail Marie Fort, Vice President for Outreach and Communications for Stan Hewitt Hall and Garden. So welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Lori. I'm happy to be back.
So what's new for this season's celebration?
So we're very excited. You know, we change our theme every season, and we're able to do that because we have such a rich archive. So the Seiberling family was very focused on health and wellness, and so that is how we derived our theme. And you'll see that filtered throughout the exhibits as you tour the Manor House. You'll see the theme in the gardens. We have a new culinary garden as an example, and even in some of our events, we have a new yoga on the West Terrace event that's coming in the summer. So
we'll have to check that one out.
Absolutely.
So how is this theme incorporated within the home?
Absolutely. So the home was actually built with a lot of interesting features in it. They had a fully equipped gymnasium. There were sleeping porches to enjoy the fresh air year-round. There were needle showers to help them with feel the power and the invigoration that would come through the water. And then also there is an indoor pool that is lovingly called the Plunge. So that's all inside the house. And also, even in the medicine cabinets, you could tell there was evidence that the Seiberlings were actually open to trying the fads and fixes that were a part of the era. So we have an exhibit that talks about those as well. And then out in the gardens, they had a bowling lawn. There were tennis courts for not only the family and their guests, but also the domestic staff. And there were lagoons where they ice skated in the winter and swam in the summer. And FA was so focused on health and fitness that he actually built a gymnasium at Goodyear for their employees as well.
Oh my goodness. So he really wanted not only family but employees to have a good life experience. And you mentioned the healthy programs throughout the summer. So.
Absolutely. So we're excited about bringing yoga on the West Terrace. It's going to be starting the first Sunday in May and run for 6 Sundays each month. or excuse me, one Sunday each month for 6. And then we're going to do that with our partners at Yoga Lounge. And they're going to lead all levels of vinyasa flow, which is very good. And then something else that's new is we're introducing a new youth tour in the Manor House, which we're excited about because it helps to, bring the Manor House, kind of make it more accessible, I would say, for the younger set, mostly elementary school students, so children. So it's a 40-minute tour. It's abbreviated. It covers about 14 rooms in the Manor House. There will be some interactive exhibits, and it's given from the perspective of Franklin Seiberling, who was the youngest child and the only one to actually grow up in the Manor House itself. So it'll be fun for the kids to see what a telephone looked like in the early 20th century and compare it to their cell phones today.
And from the viewpoint of a young child, like they will be. So
exactly.
It sounds like Stan Hewitt. I mean, something for everyone, right? All ages.
Yes, all ages. And of course, we're very well known for our signature events like the Father's Day Car Show and Deck the Hall. But we also, over the last 8 years or so, have really been evolving into a family destination. And the centerpiece of that is Play Garden. So it's 5,000 square feet of fun.
Huge.
Huge. We, and in fact, we have a playhouse that's actually replicated from the carriage house. It's 20 feet tall. We have a bubble machine. There is a splash fountain, a bowling lawn, and just all wonderful activities that keep the kids engaged. A little bit beyond Play Garden, we have butterflies that will be returning this summer. And we're also introducing a new program for the younger set, the 3 to 6-year-olds, called Seiberling Explorers. So those will be guided experiences that will happen twice on Wednesdays throughout the summer. And we have 70 acres of gardens and grounds, so they'll be able to explore with different subject matters. So they'll do geocaching and questing and check out bugs and butterflies and all the things that kids love to do. So absolutely. And for those who are not members, we really invite them to consider membership. It's really a great value. Gives them nearly unlimited access to the estate for self-guided tours of the Manor House and the gardens and the grounds, including Play Garden and Seiberling Explorers.
Excellent.
Yes, absolutely.
I will have to stop by.
Please do. Come and enjoy. Do whatever makes you happy when you're there.
All right. The Seiberling family left Stan Hewitt as a gift to the people of Akron. My thanks to Gail Marie Fort for her wealth of knowledge available at our Akron home.
Learn more by calling Stan Hewitt at 888-836-5533 or visit their website, www.stanhewitt.org. Next, the Dirty Dozen.
For nearly 100 years, Cleveland Hearing and Speech Center has been the premier provider of speech language, hearing loss, and deaf community services. Infants, children, and adults with special communication needs can receive hearing screenings and exams. Hearing aid brands such as Phonak, speech and language therapy, stroke recovery therapy, sign language interpreting, deaf advocacy, and support. To learn more, call Cleveland Hearing and Speech Center at 216-231-8787 or visit chsc.org.
Did you miss a phone number or website? Then here's your second chance, because we're going to list all of that information again. Then we'll be back to tip you off about the latest tax scams. Well, April 15th, tax day is almost here. Are you ready? Aside from taxes, every year the IRS issues its Dirty Dozen tax scams. So here is my law partner, Michael Solomon, to give us advice on what to watch out for.
Hi, Lori.
So what scams are out there this year?
Well, I can't go into all 12, and I'll cover a couple on the show. But if you're interested, you can go to the IRS website or Google IR, Internal Revenue, -2018 for this year, -2066, and it'll pull it up.
Okay.
But, you know, there are all sorts of scams out there. I'm going to talk about one of them as a low-tech scam, where someone gets a call from someone that says, I'm from the IRS, and you owe a lot of money, and if you don't pay it, I'm going to send the police over, or we're going to have you deported. It just doesn't happen. You're not going to, that doesn't happen. Then what they try to do is get you to pay the bill with a gift card, or you purchase a debit card, and then the money is gone forever. So remember, the IRS never calls you over the phone and threatens you with arrest.
Okay.
They don't demand taxes without giving you a right to appeal it. They never start asking you all sorts of information, or give me your credit card number or your debit card number, anything like that. They just don't do that. So if you get a call like that from someone who says they're from the IRS, just hang up.
Hang up. Okay. So that's low tech.
Okay.
What about the high tech?
The high tech is called phishing, not like going fishing at the creek, but it's where you get an email. It says it's from the IRS. You click on it, and they direct you to a website. It looks like the IRS's website, and you start giving them all sorts of personal information. Again, it could be your Social Security number, credit card information, and then you're caught. Or even more sophisticated, now some of them will then file for a tax return for you, get a refund sent to your bank account, and then contact you and say, hey, you got to return the money.
Oh my goodness.
So it really gets very difficult. So the IRS doesn't tweet, text, they don't send you emails, don't respond to those, don't give any information over the phone.
Okay. We have time for one more.
Okay, this is self-inflicted wound. I don't have a lot of sympathy for people who fall for this. This is where they go to a seminar and they say, oh, you don't have to pay income taxes. They say the First Amendment, you don't have to pay income taxes because of you can base it on religious or moral grounds, or you're not a person under the Internal Revenue Code, or one of my favorites, the income tax is voluntary. I don't want to pay it, I don't pay it. Or they argue, I reject U.S. citizenship, I'm just a citizen of the state of Ohio, therefore I don't owe federal taxes. They're all scams. Don't fall for any of that.
All right. Don't believe any of that.
No.
All right. Now, be sure to file your income taxes and don't get scammed. If you have any questions about the IRS, call Mike. The number's next.
Call Solomon, Steiner, and Peck at 1-888-236-5173 for more information, or to schedule a speaker for your organization. Or log on to www.ssnplaw.com.
Thanks for joining us. On next week's show, entertainment, education, empowerment, and engagement. You can find it all in one place, and we'll tell you where. Plus, will the new tax plan put a wrench in your retirement income? We'll investigate. And we'll preview a program that helps those with memory issues stay in their home sweet home. But until then, please remember to make the most of your golden opportunities.
If you'd like to join our kitchen conversation, visit our website, www.goldenopportunities.tv. Like us on Facebook. Call us at 440-742-GO-TV or email us at kitchen@goldenopportunities.tv. We'd love to hear from you.
Golden Opportunities is paid for by Elder Productions.